Our next guest is an undisputed force in Australian musical theatre. Bonnie Lythgoe has turned fairy tales like Aladdin and Peter Pan into pantomimes, and now she's set to put audiences under the spell of her latest classic, Sleeping Beauty.
Speaking of beauty, she joins us now from Hollywood with all the details. Bonnie, how lovely to see you.
Hello, it's lovely to see you both as well.
Oh, now, we love you here in Australia. You've been producing and directing these fantastic pantos. You know, the panto is such a great, for people who don't know, such an incredible English tradition. How are Australians embracing it?
Oh my goodness, David, they are loving it. And I was so nervous when I first kind of started because I didn't know, because you're bringing your family to the theatre and you're saying to the children, when you want to shout out, you can shout out. So if you want to scream, you can scream. And it was just so different for Australian people. But I'm telling you, we're in our 5th season, and the one show I always wanted to bring was Sleeping Beauty, and next year we're going to be there, so it's fabulous, really fabulous. I'm so happy.
Bonnie, the main characters in your production of Sleeping Beauty are still yet to be cast. Have you got anyone in mind?
Well, whenever I do a story, I do a new show, I always have people in mind, and I kind of look at each character and think, who would I love? And you know what, David, anytime you want to be in one of my pantos, you can.
I'll be Beauty.
Yeah. But
You got the sleep.
I'll be still not Beauty.
Sonia.
Yeah.
Oh, Sonia. Oh, Sonia.
I love you.
As
I
what?
would love you to say yes. I want you in one of my pantos.
Oh, I'd love
think
to
you'd
know,
be
Bonnie.
Did you all hear that, Australia? She said
That's a contract. Verbal contract, verbal agreement.
Oh, man, that'd be fun. You as Sleeping
Sonia,
Beauty and me as...
You would
As
be
the compound pharmacist.
You would
Pounding
be
up the here you go, Beauty,
beautiful.
go back to sleep, love. No one wants to look at you, pal. And me just like...
No, don't be me. Stop it.
It's just a daily occurrence here, Bonnie. Don't worry about it.
Look.
Now
look
you
at
have
David.
written on Twitter that there will be a twist in this production.
We can do the twist.
We can.
Come on, David, I want to see you do it now.
Can you give us a hint about what it might be?
Well, one of the things I always think is when you're doing something like a new show, and it's actually, you've had Sleeping Beauty, you've seen it, children know it, you've always got to put your little moment onto it. So I ask yourself, why did the wicked fairy become wicked? Why does the good fairy become good? Let's have a little game here and maybe muddle things up a little bit. And not be exactly as the story tells it, but be just that little bit different. So yes, there is going to be a twist.
Sonia, you have a question?
The twist is
The twist is...
we play the fairies.
We are fairies.
Yes, it's David, you're going to be the bad fairy. And Sonia,
What else is new?
You're going to be the good fairy.
Those rumours have been flying around for years. Seems I'm married with children, there's even more.
That's funny. Bonnie, we hear that you and the crew like to play tricks on some of your fellow actors. Is that right?
Oh my goodness, you've been doing your flipping homework again. Yes, I'm going to tell you a funny story. We had this girl, she was quite a young fairy godmother, and she was in one of our, obviously Cinderella. And I don't know if you remember the bit where the old lady walks through the woods to speak to Cinderella.
Sure.
Well, this was the part she was playing, and you know what? The crew did not like her. The crew just thought she was difficult. So what they did, if you can imagine, the old lady walking through the forest with her walking stick, what they did every day, they shaved a little tiny bit off the stick. So each day she was more and more bent over until she was nearly bent in half. And she had no idea. After 3 weeks, she looked like an old lady of 990 instead of a young fairy of 35. It was hysterical. And I went backstage to the crew room and said, what is going on? And you could see there was a little chart where they were saying day 1, day 2, day 3, and they were actually each day making that walking stick shorter. So that's just one of the things, and I was involved in that. But I could be with you forever. I mean, we do terrible things. And I was thinking, I've been really good on the pantos in Australia, but I was thinking, I might just do something this year, a little trick on somebody, and they'll never know.
They'll never know.
But we'll make sure they do.
All right, well, look, we cannot wait, Bonnie. Thank you so much for joining us again. For more information about Sleeping Beauty production, head to ozpanto.com. They sell out. They're great fun for the whole family. See you, Bonnie.
Bye, Bonnie.